I enjoy physical labor that leads to a visible or tactile outcome. What I mean by that is, like, I enjoy mowing the lawn because I can see how good it looks afterward. I enjoy building things, I enjoy fixing things, I enjoy creating, drawing, all that stuff. Okay? I don't necessarily enjoy, like, cleaning something, because sometimes, yeah, it's visibly cleaner, but sometimes it's just not. Like vacuuming a floor. You can't see the crumbs, you can't see the dirt. You know it's probably there, but when you vacuum, you don't see the outcome. You're doing work without a visible end. However, when you're picking things up off the floor, like toys or games or puzzle pieces or something like that, then you can see the outcome. So that's different. I say all this because there are people that I know that don't like to do physical things. They would rather not work, and I can't say that. I'll get to this in a second. They would rather not work and do something else. Play a game, or write, or read, record video content, things like that. However, it has come to my recent attention that can be called work. People do different jobs. Like, I've never been a business executive. My only real experience with business executives are what I see in the news and movies and reading books. So I have a stereotype in mind of what a business executive does, and that's pretty much nothing. Is they sit at a desk and answer phones sometimes, and go to meetings sometimes, and essentially just watch other people work. That's what a business executive is to me. And I know business executive is a very general term. So fill it in whatever you will. A CEO, a VP, a boss. The people that are in charge of other people rarely work. In my opinion. At least that was my opinion until recently. It's becoming very obvious to me that people work in different ways. Exercise. Exercise is not something that I like doing. Now, it is kind of a hard middle ground to what I said earlier. Yes, it's physical work. You don't see or feel an outcome right away. It's not an immediate feeling or observation that you can make. You might feel sore, but you don't see your muscles get bigger, you don't see your belly get smaller, that type of thing, until you do it repeatedly. Mowing a lawn or picking things up off the floor, that's instant. You see that. Exercise, you don't. And so it's probably one of the hardest forms of physical work with the slowest payoff, to put it that way. That being said, physical fitness is very important to a lot of people. It is important to me, I just don't prioritize it like I should. I'll use an example, and I hope the person that I'm about to mention sees this video and watches it all the way through and understands that I have the utmost respect for this person. Now, I have known my brother-in-law, Nick, since high school. Really kind of since junior high, but we really didn't talk or hang out or do anything. But we ended up in the same friend group in high school. And he eventually started dating my sister, and then they got married after college. So he is now my brother-in-law. For the longest time, I wasn't sure how to feel about Nick. I knew he was a nice guy, but, you know, I heard kind of the way he responded. I'm going to use the mowing the lawn example. I'd heard the way he had responded to his mom asking him to mow the lawn back when we were teenagers. And I didn't really understand his response. He didn't want to do it, didn't feel like it. This video is going to be longer, by the way, because I just have a lot to say on this. He would, but he was an athlete, so I knew he was capable of doing this physical stuff, and I couldn't figure out why he didn't want to. And this wasn't just one instance, this was a couple times that it was repeated, and so it was kind of a pattern of behavior that I saw. Fast forward to college. We did not go to the same college, but Nick was in track in college and had some good success there as well. And eventually, Nick bought a house in college and lived in it with several people who were roommates. And that kind of changed my perspective on him and allowed me to see a very responsible, very resourceful, very driven person outside of the world of athletics, which is all I had seen up to that point. I knew he cared for my sister. I knew he loved her. I knew he would do whatever he could for her. But there was still just an aspect of, I'm going to say immaturity just because I can't really think of another word to describe it yet. Fast forward to the end of college, to the year 2014, when Nick and Mary get married. And at that point, you kind of see this relationship blossoming. These are young adults. I'm only a year older than, 6 months older than, 7 months older than Nick, 7.5-ish, and a year, 13 months older than my sister. So we're not that far in age. It's not like they're way younger than me. And so I see this relationship start to blossom, and then I don't really have a chance to experience it much at all, because then they moved to another state. They're several hours away from us, and we see each other at holidays and family gatherings and things like that. One of which is this weekend that I'm excited for. They get a couple dogs. Now they're in their own house that they just purchased. And something that really kind of sparked, and don't get me wrong, I've had respect for Nick for a long time now, but one of those things that really just kind of got me this season is I was over at my dad's house hanging Christmas lights, and Nick and Mary were visiting for something. Maybe it was around Thanksgiving time, I think. We're hanging Christmas lights, and Nick comes outside and starts asking questions and watching and helping and doing these things that that I've always just done, and never really thought, oh, well, Nick's not out here helping, why not? It's not his job to help. But he comes out and he starts asking questions about how to put the lights on the roof and what clips work best and how to arrange them and things like that. And that really got me. Like, that was a really cool thing. And then a couple weeks later, he and Mary are out there on their own roof putting up their own Christmas lights. Like, that's just one of those things that just kind of catapults somebody into a new category for me. Doing a physical job outside of exercise, because that takes dedication and determination and all those things, and creating something from nothing, creating a light display that wasn't there before. So that was really, really cool. And then a couple of other things that have really just leveled up my respect for Nick are his drive to create his YouTube channel. I mentioned that earlier. Part-time gamer guy. If you get a chance, check it out. He's really dedicated to this. I see his videos come on regularly, and the content he creates and the passion he has for this. But recently, his political stance. Nick is a person that does not identify with any political party, but is very well informed. And this was a point of contention for us for a while too. Nick was against voting for high elected officials for federal offices. To my knowledge, he doesn't vote. still. But he's extremely informed. So, and very well informed and plugged into the world of the news, the media. And that's not something that I am extremely involved in. I keep a general watch on it just because it's my job as a teacher to inform my students of things. But Nick knows his stuff, and he does his research before making comments. And so to me, that is what I have come to realize is work as well. It may not be physical. It may not be something that's being, a floor that's being put down or a building that's being built or something like that. That's doing work with hands and sweat. But it takes work to know how you feel about something and to be willing to share with other people and open a dialogue with them in a respectful way. And Nick does an extremely good job of that. He knows his stuff. He is very smart, and is willing to talk with anybody about anything, whether they feel the same or differently about it. And I think that's really, really cool. And so, if/when Nick views this video, I hope he knows that I do have a lot of respect for him in the world that he is involved in. And now it's going to seem really silly because I am not in peak physical condition, and I think Nick is an example of someone that is in good physical condition, that exercises and eats well and does that. So for me to say that I do more work than him is not fair at all, and not correct. It's just we do different kinds of work, and both of them are hard things to do. And I respect someone that can view the world beyond themselves more than I can. To put it, to summarize it the best I can. That's what it is. So I'm looking forward to this Christmas holiday, spending it with family, spending it with friends, and having kind of a new outlook on what it is to do something, to be a presence in the world. I'll see you this afternoon.